This podcast is solely for the attention of institutional, professional, qualified, or sophisticated investors and distributors.
Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about the interactions between demographics and technological innovations. It's no secret that populations are aging. In developed countries, the median age was 42 in 2020 compared to 37 in 2000 and 32 in 1980. And it's also no secret that automation and robotization are increasingly present in our lives and economies. According to the International Federation of Robotics, there were 126 robots per 10,000 employees in 2020, compared to only 55 in 2015. There are therefore been more than a doubling in 5 years. But much less is known about the links between demographics and robotization. A lot of academic work has been carried out on the consequences of robotization and automation technologies, in particular on the labor market. These academic works generally lead to the conclusion that it has increased inequalities by eliminating routine medium-skilled jobs, but also that it has had negative but limited consequences on employment and wages. Until recently, there was almost no research works on what is at the origin of robotization, and it turns out that a paper by Daron Acemoglu and Pascual Restrepo, published in the Review of Economic Studies, one of the most prestigious journals in the world, shed some light on this question. Acemoglu and Restrepo started from a simple observation: the countries most advanced in the aging process are also the countries for which robotization is the most advanced. For example, there are many more robots per employee in Japan, Germany, and South Korea than in the US. Obviously, correlation is not causality, and they try to understand what was at the origin of robotization with both theoretical reasoning and empirical evidence. First, Acemoglu and Restrepo developed a theoretical model that shows that aging should lead to industrial automation because the shortage of middle-aged employees with the skills to perform manual production tasks increases the value of the technologies that can replace them. Quite simply, it becomes relevant for a company to invest in a robot when it can no longer find enough workers for its production. Then they show with a sample of 60 countries that the countries where aging is the most rapid have invested more in new technologies of robotization and automation, and they even show that the aging factor alone explains around 35% of the differences in robotic investment between countries and around 20% of the differences in robot imports between countries. And it's not just about robotization, since Acemoglu and Restrepo show that countries with the most advanced aging phenomenon also invest more than the others in other automation technologies, such as machine tools with numerical control or automatic welding machines. On the other hand, these countries do not invest more than the others in non-automated machines, such as manual machine tools. Another result is that the most aging countries file more patents related to automation than other countries, while there is no similar relationship for other types of technologies, and these countries export their innovations in the rest of the world, something that can be proven with international trade statistics. Finally, Acemoglu and Restrepo predict that the effect of aging will be felt most in industries that employ relatively more middle-aged workers, precisely because they will soon face labor shortages, and in industries where automation is the most relevant to implement. It also seems that the consequences of aging on productivity appear to be more complex than previously thought. We could in particular imagine productivity gains in some sectors, whereas the economic theory generally retains the idea that aging weighs on economic growth. And at a time where there are plenty of labor shortages, it is very likely that robotization and automation will be in the news for a while. Thank you for listening, and talk to you soon.
All comments and analysis reflect CPR AM views on market conditions and its evolution, according to information known at the time. As a result of the simplified nature of the information contained in this document, that information is necessarily partial and incomplete.